Guten Morgen! Half a day, and hecky in. We are back. I am late because I tried to fix the alerts. I feel like it worked. I upped the video bitrate, and it seemed to fix itself, but if not, I might have to up my video versus my audio bitrate. Because I upped with audio, and then for some reason, the GIF that would normally freeze kept going, and I was like, maybe that's what happened. But anyway, filming was great. Let's go back to this. Last time on Sherlock Holmes versus Lupin, Nina said, "Do I really have to defeat Lupin? I don't want to fight him." Yeah, take the British down.
This ain't lost and found. Have a drink or get lost. Got it?
Is my headset broken?
Shh. I'm a secret wall with ears. Shh.
There's nothing coming out of this ear. Oh, everything's great.
Already found your pal, darling.
This
is interesting, but absolutely useless for the moment.
Scram, you drunkard.
Excuse me, I'm not a drunkard. Wait. So by messing with the volume control, which is at max right now, by bringing it slightly quieter, this just clicked on. Ooh, this is...
I have no reason to go there.
What was I supposed to do? Somebody's supposed to do something. I don't remember. Quickly to the guide! Ah! I remember walking in this bar. Begone tabs from last night? Yeah, because I was like, it's Arsène Lupin. Test the disguise, hear about the robbery, enter the pub, talk to them. That's right, Miss Fleming. Miss Fleming's boarding house. That's where we're supposed to head. Somewhere. Somewhere out here in these cold streets. Ah, buttons. Where does Miss Fleming's boarding house reside? What up, pigeon? Is it this? No. Is it the big fancy house, maybe? This looks like a fancy door. That's what happens when you take a break for 2 days. You just forget the entire plot. I'm gonna go in. Enter the pub, talk to the barman. Exit the pub and go right to the house with flowers at both sides of the entrance. Oh, this? Did I not look at this door? Go right to the house with flowers at both sides of the entrance, past the boxes and crates!
I could go for a 10-inch cake right now. I would even go for an 8-incher. Cakes.
Hi, Adobo. Heck in. I could go for some cake.
There's a chance that Lupin and his accomplices are still there. I will need to know with absolute certitude behind which door their hideout is in order to steer the events to my advantage.
It's a hole.
There's a chance that Lupin and his accomplices are still there. I will need to know with absolute certitude behind which door their hideout is in order to steer the events to my advantage.
Can I put, like, stuff in front of the... There we go. Or I could leave that. But how are you doing today, Adobes? I saw
These
you...
footprints are size 9.5.
Doing the, what was it? American Truck Simulator last night. Because I was in between naps.
These footprints are size 9.5.
And I just saw, like, the wheel and everything, and I was like, it does look kind of fun.
These are work boots. These are work boots.
I don't think this can provide any more clues for me. I mean, size doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, it's true. Cake is cake. As long as you treat it right, it won't treat you wrong. Now! We're gonna have a wholesome stream, goddammit!
Size 8. Size 8.
You won't get me this time.
Work boots. Look, some blood.
I'm sorry, blood? What?
Work boots. Look, some blood and little scraps of meat.
Oh.
The man.
It's like, excuse me.
These footprints are size 9.
I guess they're fancy.
The footprints are indistinct, but they don't seem to be those of work boots. The footprints are indistinct.
This is the fancy shoes. This is his. Oh!
Who are you?
Hey, don't be daft. I'm just here visiting a bloke I know, hack writer. Know him, don't you?
I don't know nothing. You've got a real trap on you. I'd say you're a real fink.
I ain't no fink, me. Did he tell you where he was going? See, it's just that he promised me loot, he did.
Hear this. I's laying low here tonight. Did a big number already, you hear? The barkeeper over the Lion told me this joint was emptied an hour ago and paid up for the next 3 days. And here I am, but I ain't never laid eyes on you, chap.
Could be that he left a little something for me in his snug. I'll just take a peek, will I?
Fat chance, but if you want to earn a few cents, go tell Eddie, the barkeeper over the Lion, there's twice as much as I'd thought. Tell him that little Sam is no longer in the race, and he should talk to that chump from Chelsea. So buzz off and hold your tongue, or I'll have it taken out by heck.
I recognized him. It's Rumpkin, a famous burglar. I need to find a way to get him out in order to search the room without alerting the police. Their intervention would cause a commotion and any clues would be destroyed. I must think.
You gotta buy clamps so it stays in place. Did you just like road rage off your desk? There's an icing joke to be made. I mean... Who says there can't be? Alright, how do I get him out? Maybe I go do the thing he asked me to do? I go do the thing he asked me to do. Yeah, it's this. Hi, buddy.
You, Eddie?
To you, that's Mister.
I just been to see the Mrs. Fleming's tenant. Know him? Rumpkin?
Shh, keep it down.
What's the deal? Ain't no coppers round here.
Oh, there's plenty. Big Bruiser, my guard, is part of Luigi's gang, and they're after Rumpkin's hide. If they found out that I've been harbouring and dealing with him, my goose is cooked. And yours too.
Go on.
Huh? Maybe I'll just let Luigi know where to find Rumpkin. He might cough up a few bob for that tidbit. How's that sound?
Listen, you dirty rat. Luigi and Rumpkin had a, let's say, a difference of opinion. A little matter of honour. And now Rumpkin ain't welcome round here. So Rumpkin comes to me on the sly. He just scored big, he says. He's going to cut me a share of the all if I bail him out. It's a risk, mind. Now, if you can hold your tongue, you'll get your share too.
Deal.
It only stays on with suction cups. Really? Usually, suction cups are quite sturdy from what I hear.
Rumpkin ain't ready to leave his hideout, eh?
Not likely. The very idea of finding himself face to face with a striped scarf has him quaking in his boots.
Striped scarf, eh? What's the score with that then?
The identifying sign for Luigi's gang. All those blokes have a striped scarf. They got weird designs on them too. That and their long knives is their trademark. Helps us to see them coming and stay out of the way. Good to avoid the hassle. So, what was it that Rumpkin wanted to tell me?
Said it's more than 10 times what you thought. Supposed to bring little Sam, the chump from Chelsea, eh? And there's many other men you lord over. Bring 'em all at midnight.
Really? That's top hole, that. I'm on it.
I'm just saying. From what I've heard. Damn it, we're trying to be freaking wholesome here.
This may prove to be useful.
Booze!
This may prove to be useful.
Hand it over.
Phew, his scarf is soaked in wine. If I take it, I risk waking him. I must make sure this drunkard doesn't notice.
Well, these aren't the well-made suction cups you use, apparently. I'll have you know. I don't use the suction cup ones. Or I don't have any. Not even like 10 minutes in. Downhill already. You know what, though? If you use those suction cups, I bet it wouldn't move a muscle. Because those things are sturdy? I was like, should I say it can take a pounding? I was like, no, you're just turning a wheel. There shouldn't be too much pounding.
This cloth, the size of a scarf, may come in handy.
Oh, am I gonna do like a switcheroo?
No, I can't do that.
No? Booze?
Phew, his scarf is soaked in wine. If I take it, I risk waking him. I must make sure this drunkard doesn't notice.
Do I stab him?
Phew, his scarf is soaked in wine. I have no reason to go there.
I feel like it has something to do with the tiny rag, no?
Scram, you drunkard!
Give me that
No,
rag.
I can't do that.
Give it.
No, I can't do that.
Scram, you drunkard!
And he's back to sleep. What am I doing? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Bottle line with rag. Oh!
What most closely resembles a cloth soaked in wine? Another cloth soaked in wine.
What? Why?
Perfect, he didn't notice anything.
Okay. Pounding? Suction cups. Don't ask. You don't want the answers to. I can just see people being like, what kind of cups are you talking about? It's like, I'm talking about normal suction cups. What kind of suction cups you talking about? Be right back. Anything else there? Nope. Alright. Back to Mrs. Fleming's boarding house. What's the audio? I feel like the audio's quiet.
No, I must figure out a way for him to leave.
Do I hang it up somewhere? Uh-huh. Must combine them.
It's me. I've seen our Eddie.
Ah! You have 5 seconds to put that thing down. If I'm telling you that, it's because there's a way for you and me both to get along without getting hurt and without Luigi finding out. 1, 2.
Okay, spill the beans.
Good. Grab a bag and scarper as fast as you can. I keep the rest, and you'll want to pass by Baker Street because the rest of the crew is waiting on the other side.
Fine, but we'll meet again. You can count on it.
In exactly 13 seconds, he'll come across Sergeant Rufus. Right, what can I find here?
Oh, Sergeant Rufus. Sorry, I was catching a Pokemon. X215 Mayet?
Well, Rumpkin must have lost this paper in leaving.
Oh, the bed is smushed together.
Certain scraps of wood seem to have been painted with silver paint. It's a strong wood, no dust on it. It's definitely the loot from the recent burglary of Herman Grimble's. I haven't seen him since the adventure of the silver earring. He'd be pleased to see me again, especially if I return his stolen property. Let's head to Baker Street.
Okay. I'm just gonna teleport there. Boop! I guess I'm here to tell Watson.
At last, Holmes. I was imagining the worst had happened to you.
It was nothing, Watson. Even though I didn't manage to catch the swordfish, I do happen to have a few sea bream in my bag.
I sent off the letters that you wanted me to pen. I'm in a right state. Do you really believe that this rascal would dare attack?
I do believe, Watson. We'll discuss this later. I have a small task to do which requires my absolute concentration. I'll have to ask you to leave and go to Scotland Yard in order to inform the authorities that the plunder from the robbery at Sir Grimble's residence can be found in one of the rooms rented by Mrs. Fleming. Second door on the left, to be exact. They already have the perpetrator, but if the inspectors would be so good as to wait until midnight, they will find in that very location the top fences in London. Hand in the cookie jar, or jars, I should say.
If you say so, Holmes.
Thank you, Watson. As for myself, I need to study the clues that I recently found.
What secrets are these bits of silver wood hiding?
Hmm.
I need something. What secrets are these bits of silver wood hiding?
Oh! Oh no. Oh, the gods hate me. Okay. I'm guessing. Like, how do I know if it's short or how do I know if it's long? Do I have an idea of what it's supposed to look like? None of these really end. Like, you're a corner. Put you back. Right? Ooh. But I don't have other corner pieces. I don't understand. I don't understand. What am I making? Connect the wood pieces, click and drop the pieces in 3 places. Place the sticks with 3-way connectors at the edges. Wait, can these rotate? No, none of them are corners, Nina. Yeah, they can't rotate. Wait, what? Place the sticks with 3-way connectors at the edges. Okay. So, probably that. Ooh, there's 2 more at the bottom. Oop, wrong one. Oh, there's 3 of them. Okay. Oh, I gotta make a big old puzzle. I might be here for a minute. Also, I found out for the last Sherlock game that the the painting where I had to like scrub the watercolor off the oil painting in the museum. Yeah, that entire song is copyright. So that's getting scrubbed. Oh wow, this goes rather far out. Okay. Well, you're coming with me. I feel like this connector's too small. You know? think I have enough pieces. Do I? Hmm. I am confused. I'm just gonna assemble what I can and hope for the best. Nope. I'm out of pieces now. Click and drop the pieces in 3 places. Place the sticks with 3-way edge connectors at the edges. Place the long horizontal sticks at the bottom layer and the shorter horizontal sticks on the next top 2 layers. A small cage is made. Well, try that again.
What secrets are these bits of silver wood hiding?
I think I see a Nina. Hello, amazing people. Hi, Dickens! Sorry, I was uber focused on the puzzle. Apparently, I have to make this into a cage. Somehow. Oh, it's a nightmare. And I tried fixing the alerts. And of course, it's like, you know, you hit the test button with the overlays. And it seems to work. But then, you know, it's always a different story when you're live. Like, what was it? Yesterday, I was like, ooh, we're taking a break. Let's try to hammer this out. And the overlays, like the Stream Elements website, was down. So I was like, maybe that's why it's broken. A cage. I'm good at that, too. Is there anything you're not good at? There's a dark joke in there somewhere. Alright. Place the sticks with 3-way connectors at the edges. That's what I did. And I got a big old square. Well, rectangle. I wish I could see the picture of this cage. How would I Google this? What would this be? Sherlock Holmes. Oh my god, Nemesis, not memes. Nemesis. Bird puzzle? Bird puzzle. Capturing the bird. No, I don't want to capture the bird. I'm trying to make the bird cage. Well, it's probably not even a bird cage. Yes, woman. I just don't get it. Well, you technically got half of me then. I a woman, hear me roar? Meow. You can blame Adobo. He's talking about cakes again. So just start the stream off in the right mindset. Alright, let's get all these pieces back where they belong. Try to make this thing again. Because I can't rotate these. So I'm like, okay. You told me to put all the 3-way connectors at the edge, and this is the corner piece. Then yeah, this would make sense. Big ol' bird cage. It's this tiny ass one that throws me. There's also these tiny ass sticks. Oh. Right? Layer 1. And then do I just make it tiny? Where would this go? Okay, me back. What about cakes? Oh, I was just talking about how we talk about cakes. And how I'm trying to solve this puzzle. But I don't know how. It says it's like a 3-layered cage. And I'm trying to find the puzzle, like, at least like what it looks like, so I have an idea of like how to construct it. But I keep getting the like catching the birds thing, and I'm like, no, that's not what I want. Ah! Tony!
Cosplay Canada just resubscribed for 23 months. Almost 2 years now 9me 2HYPERS.
Wow, that's great. Almost 2 years, Tony? Also, heck yeah, and we're trying to solve this puzzle. That has me stumped. Oh my god, someone did it. Okay, I just need to know what it looks like. Huh? Huh? I think I'm missing pieces. I think I'm missing pieces. This is some malarkey. Okay. So we got our squares. And then I have to make babies. How do I make the babies? Well, I appreciate the resub. I'm out of balls. Don't mind me, I'm just buying a bunch of balls right now. I need to put the tiny one somewhere. No, you have to be there. You, in theory, can be anywhere. You have to be corner. Alright, that's one of you. One of you has to go. And I take stick. Hold on. I don't know how I would figure this out, but sure, yes. Ha! Oh, I was like, am I missing a piece? It was hidden.
With the wood painted this color, it almost looks like a steel cage. It doesn't mean much to me.
I'm back from the station where I completed the charge you had entrusted me with. On my return, a messenger gave me this letter, which asks us to meet with the Prime Minister at Buckingham Palace tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. It's far enough away, but not too late. Either way, it will give us some time for me to ponder and for you to rest. You seem sad, Watson, and we need to inspire confidence tomorrow. Our audience will be one of the hardest.
Mr. Holmes, the Prime Minister is in the White Room on your right, at the end of the hall. His orders were that you should be shown in immediately.
4 Seasons. Sorry, this song's a jam. I love it. Oh yeah, how did the rest of your truck stream go, Adobo? Because like when I came in, you were driving, you passed an accident, and I saw like another truck passing you, and I was like, almost want to come out of lurk and be like, you letting that guy pass you? Don't be a wimp. Get his ass. But I was like, I don't know the rules of driving truck simulator. What the fudge happened to the... That's gonna be a thing later. Sorry. I can't resist. I'm not saying I did ballet, but I might have wanted to be a ballerina growing up. But my island didn't offer ballet classes, so I just got to dance in my living room like a weirdo. I was not very good.
Leave me. I don't want to see anyone. In any case, I'm not decent.
Oh? No? I wanted to drive the speed limit. You did. You did great.
Closed.
All the other truck drivers were like, meow. I was like, oh my god, they're using the left lane. Usually they just stick to the right. Why is your sword broken? Did he not tell me to go in? Hello?
It would be considered an act of treason to enter without having been invited, undoubtedly subject to banishment to the Australian colonies, or worse. Closed.
Where did he want me to go?
Closed.
Sir?
Mr. Holmes, the Prime Minister is in the White Room on your right, at the end of the hall. His orders were that you should be shown in immediately.
Okay, yeah.
It would be considered an act of treason to enter without having been invited, undoubtedly subject to banishment to the Australian colonies, or worse.
Was I not invited?
Leave me. I don't want to...
Yeah, you're not decent. Oh! He said end of the hall. This is not end of the hall.
Ah, what good fortune! Here are Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson. Enter, gentlemen.
If the Prime Minister will permit, will the gentleman be joining you for breakfast?
No, thank you. We have already eaten, and we are pressed for time.
Upon reading your letter, gentlemen, I understood that the request for an audience with Her Majesty had something to do with the burglar on the loose in London. I reacted immediately, even though I am unaware what the target of the next theft is. I also did all within my power to optimize the security surrounding Her Majesty. That is to say, absolutely nothing. What? Indeed, my power is non-existent once the threshold of these walls is crossed, and I've run up against an insurmountable obstacle regarding how to set up the security system surrounding Her Majesty. Her Majesty herself.
Have you at least explained to her?
She didn't even deign to receive me. Her Majesty is in a miserable mood for some reason or another, and is refusing an audience to anyone. Despite everything, I'm staying here. If it proves that she changes her mind and rules the affairs of the country from this room. All of my councillors are at the 4 corners of London to represent me. They even have one in the Chamber of Lords to see if Parliament can oblige Her Majesty to receive me.
This could take days, and we don't have days.
It's the best that I can do. So, Holmes, what can this Frenchman be after?
I'm not certain, but I believe that it has to do with Her Majesty herself. He will likely approach her, perhaps even be within earshot.
That is out of the question. We cannot take that risk.
Of course, we must prevent him. Tell me, what is the odour emanating from the stain at the bottom of your trousers?
Oh, that. It's Robilar, Her Majesty's companion's dog. Leamunda is adorable, but her dog is devilish. I arrived early this morning and dozed off on the divan. This abject creature woke me up in his own way. Watch out for this little demon. He has access to the whole palace and hates everyone. I've sent for another pair of trousers, but I have the impression that they'll never arrive.
Is there anything that we can do, Prime Minister?
You most certainly can. Find me some trousers without further delay and convey the letters. The addresses where they were dropped off are marked on the envelopes. A coach can be found in front of the palace. It's at your disposition.
Very well.
My dear Watson, you've become a public official of the nation. I won't join you despite the prestige, as there may yet be a way to dispel Her Majesty's bad mood, and gaining some precious time in doing so.
What
Good
an
luck,
epic song.
Holmes. I will return to my work and await the blessed moment.
What an
Tell me,
epic
Watson,
song.
what are you waiting for? A royal escort?
To be talking about dog piss. The most epic of songs is just like, I was peed on by the dog. Oh. All right, Prime Minister. Ooh, glasses.
Pardon me, Prime Minister. Could I trouble you to borrow your glasses?
Beg pardon? My glasses? Are you nearsighted also? Now I understand the magnifying glass. Take them. I'll take a break. But don't break them, understood?
Yeah, yep, sure. Anything else in here? Oh, I just want to dance now. How can you not dance to this song? It's so good. Pants, he says.
Excuse me.
Chauncey, sir, at your service.
Or Chauncey.
Here, I understand that Her Majesty is cantankerous today. Would you happen to know why?
I'm sorry, but I am not authorized to comment on Her Majesty's moods. In fact, no one is.
Be advised, it isn't idle curiosity that compels me to ask this question. The reason that I, Sherlock Holmes, the great English detective, is here as well as the Prime Minister is because Her Majesty is in grave danger. The danger is imminent, instigated by a man of Machiavellian twisted tendencies who is deprived of all sense of morals and scruples. Furthermore, he is French.
French?
Indeed, and all men who will have worked to protect Her Majesty in the face of this peril from across the Channel shall be seen as true patriots, a soldier in the image of the valorous English warriors who, weapons in hand, struck down Napoleon. Go, my friend, join our forces and march alongside. Now speak.
The facts are that Her Majesty quarrelled with her companion and confidant, Lady Leamunda. The dispute concerned a gift that Her Majesty gave to Leamunda.
Okay.
What was the gift that Her Majesty gave to her companion?
A doll's house. Lady Leamunda's personal chef and servant girl were terminated immediately, but the affair wasn't settled for Her Majesty, and the two have not yet reconciled. I don't know anything further.
Wait, the Queen gives her a dollhouse, and Leamunda fires her chef and servant girl? What?
Perhaps I could speak to Lady Leamunda?
She, too, is refusing to receive visitors.
Okay.
Thank you, my friend.
Lord Robilar categorically refused the breakfast that I brought. That has put him in a rotten mood also, and Lady Leamunda is in a state.
This is the worst that could happen. I've just thrown the remainder of his meal into the refuse. Impossible to remake it. Deirdre, go to the butcher's and get something raw. Demons seem to love blood.
Now, tell me, what is so special about Lord Robillard's food?
Indeed, I don't know. But he doesn't accept anything but. I would pay dearly to know the recipe. I believe that it contains chocolate.
Is this the dog or somebody else?
Thank you, my friend.
If you will permit me to withdraw, sir.
I must prepare Lord Robillard's, that is, Lady Leamunda's dog's meal.
Sausages. I must know which ingredients to use. Marinated anchovies. I must know which ingredients to use.
Okay, well, let's... I guess we go find out first. Wait, how does he not know? He makes the food.
Ah, this must surely be the recipe for the dog's food. In a pitiful state, the cook must consult it often.
Sausages! Blood sausages! Hi, Larrington! Thank you. My lord's meal. Prepare a thin sauce with the aid of a special scale with equal proportions based on 3.5 ounces of rations, a tenth of woodland strawberry jam from Japan, 40% of anchovy extract marinated in honey, a half of mild mustard diluted with cooked wine vinegar. Add in reasonable quantities of the usual components. What is the usual components?
Swiss chocolate from Romandy.
Take that chocolate. There's this special scale.
Marinated anchovies. This may prove to be useful. Mustard prepared with vinegar. Woodland strawberry jam from Sapporo. Sausages. I must know which ingredients to use. Empty. Jamaican bananas. I must know which ingredients to use.
Sorry, the Jamaican bananas got me. Right. Strawberry. There we go. Anchovy. I didn't fully understand the directions. A thin sauce with the aid of a special scale with equal proportions based on 3.5 ounces of rations. A tenth of woodland strawberry jam, 40% of anchovy extract, and a half of mild mustard. How many things make an ounce? 10? Jamaican bananas? No, I don't know how to make bananas. Damn it. Do I not understand the measurements? Okay. Read it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, took that, did that. Alright, weigh the ingredients. 10% woodland strawberry, 40% anchovy, 50% mustard. Go to the scale on the center table. Click on the scale to automatically place all the collected ingredients on the table. Okay, did that. Find out how much 50% mustard makes. Uh-oh. Okay. I did it wrong! So, two mustards make an anchovy? No, Nina. Two anchovy. Nope, not two anchovy. Oh my god. Maybe 3? Nope, mustard for some reason is heavier than anchovy. Oh, I just finished reading it, Nina. You're not smart today. Your mind's in the gutter. Weigh anchovies in one pan and mustard on another until they are even. 4 anchovies equal 3 mustard. Well, apparently there we go. Somehow, Empty pans by taking them and right-clicking. Find out the weight relation of strawberries and anchovies. Weigh strawberries in one pan and anchovies on another until they're even. Okay. An anchovy. Drop. Oh. Okay. 3 strawberries make 2 anchovies. So multiply the anchovies 4 times to get 4 times more than strawberries. So 4 to 1. 8 or 16 anchovies plus 3 or 6 strawberries equals 50%. Weigh 50% of 4 to 1 of anchovy strawberries on one pan and add the mustard on the other pan until even. Oh, it's too early for math. Ah! My downfall is math. I feel like I should tell people, like, I barely pass. Was it geometry? I think it was geometry. Yeah. Cause, I went from my cute little island school and they're like, we're gonna learn this and this at these grades and these grades. And I was like, cool. And then I went to America. And they were like, hi, welcome to geometry. You know? And I was like, what? Geometry? I'm only in 10th grade. We learned that next year. And they're like, what? No. You learned this year. And I was like, bah. And they're like, also, for those who took Algebra 2. And I was like, Algebra 2? That's senior. And they're like, no, that's 9th grade. And I was like, oh, God. I was very behind. So this is why Nina's a little slow on math. When school systems don't line up. And they're like, didn't you learn this last year? And it's like, no. What I learned last year, apparently you guys learned in 6th grade. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna cheat for this. So it's 16 anchovies and 6 strawberries on one. Jesus. You weren't a math... You weren't a master of your own fate then. No. Sadness. Nina, for international standards, I mean... Am I wrong? Tell me, am I wrong? I need 6 strawberries. And how many anchovies? How much mustard? Okay. Ah, I see what they want me to do now. I was like, I did it. What do they want? They want me to do this. I put it on this plate now.
Elementary.
You are very right. Right? It's just like, if all the schools taught the same things, the same level, then when you magically transfer to another school in another country, you don't feel like a goddamn idiot. And then all the teachers kind of judge you, and then all your classmates judge you, and they're like, and you know, you're just impressed you're getting a C. You're like, I got a C! And they're like, this is easy. Everyone else is getting A's. And you're like, It's like, no one ever covered fractions with me. I never learned fractions. If it's simple fractions, I got it. But if you're like 3 times 8 over 1 out of 5, I'm like, give me a second. I know there's some like cross stuff, but I usually try to make it easy numbers. I'm just like, times this to make 50 or 100. It's bad. All right, we have our sauce. Now what do I do? I have a sauce. Where am I assembling this meal? Okay, calm down. Huh? I'm in the trash now? Why do I have spectacles? Why? Why am I using his glasses instead of my magnifying glass? Is this to make it easier? I don't know. Just waiting for our, would you like to know more future to happen? A bug's life, but the bugs kill us. What am I trying to find here in the trash? Game guide help. Find the usual components. Open the trash bin. Oh, look at that. Chauncey through the old preparation of dog food. Use magnifying glass on the left side of the trash bin. I'm guessing this thing.
To the side, a strange mix can be found that was recently put there. I recognize the color of certain foods. To figure out the composition of this mixture, I will need a powerful magnification.
Is that not?
To the side, a strange mix can be found that was to figure out the composition of
it. Okay. Did this?
To the side, a strange mix can be found to figure out the composition of
Click. What?
To the side, a strange mix can be found that was recently put there. I recognize the color of certain to figure out the composition of.
Use the magnifying lens on the left side of the trash bin. Need a better magnification to determine the composition of the mixture at the left? Click the magnifying lens on the PM's eyeglasses. Use the combined lens on the left side. Like, do I do this? Oh my god, I do!
There is something here. Phew, what a foul odor.
It's a banana.
Sausages.
Sausages!
Sausages.
I thought I saw a banana in there. No?
Jamaican bananas.
And this dog eats fancy. But also they said chocolate? Doesn't chocolate kill dogs? Maybe that's why your dog's pissed off. Bugs kill us, Starship Troopers? Are you supposed to take the lenses out of the glasses and by their powers combined, right? I was like reading it and I'm like, what did they mean? Click on it. And that shut. Why would you... Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh. So I put the bananas, the sausages, and the chocolate to make dog food. Oh, this dog's gonna die. I also rewatched the film. Oh, it's so good. Like, I think watching that growing up was, like, good.
Closed.
Because, like, the communal shower, like, no one is giving anybody shit in the shower. But it's like, you know, there's man parts and lady parts out, but they're like, nah, we're here to shower, we're here, we're soldiers. Woo!
Calm down, my lord, calm down. Your breakfast is on its way.
The damsel wouldn't open her door for anything but her dog's breakfast.
I have right here. Oh, hello? Oh my god, look at him!
But you aren't Deirdre.
Your powers of observation are stunning, my lady. Indeed, I am not Deirdre. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and I am...
The new cook.
Not quite. Firstly, where can I place this meal?
Put me lord's breakfast at the foot of his bed. But, oh, I can't let an unknown person into my chamber. God, what will happen to me?
Nothing serious, my lady. In fact, I'm here to help you.
How do you know that I am in need of help? Help from a tall, distinguished man with a very long nose.
My lady, my flair for detection has nothing to do with the size of my nose. As for the help that I intend to provide, it solely concerns the dispute between yourself and Her Majesty.
Oh, don't talk of that. She will no longer speak to me. It's not even my fault. Oh, no.
She wants a nose red. Oh, God. I hope not!
Why does Her Majesty reproach you?
3 days ago, she gave me the lovely dollhouse that you see there. It was made specifically for me by the royal cabinet maker. It's magnificent, isn't it?
Indeed, the little candles in the chandeliers emphasize the lovely coloring of the dolls.
Yesterday, she came to see me in my chamber and noticed that 4 of the dolls were missing from the house. I wasn't even aware, but Deirdre, who had wrapped it, confirmed the fact. These dolls are precious, and Her Majesty, was angry and told me that I didn't take care of the gifts that she gave me. I questioned my staff, my maid and my cook, to no avail. I had them fired and thought that would suffice for Her Majesty, but no.
So because you lost some dolls, the Queen's mad at you? She wants to be sniffed. God damn it. We can't have a normal stream!
What the dolls look like?
I don't even know. All I know is that there are 4 less boys than girls in the dollhouse.
Please calm yourself, my lady. I will see what I can do.
Oh, many thanks, sir. Thank you. If you find them, you will be handsomely rewarded. I will prove my gratitude, even if it means...
Save your gratitude for when I have solved the case.
Madam! Contain yourself. Alright, where are these 4 little dolls?
Water.
That is honestly a cute little bathtub. She will reward the sniffer. Where's your dog? I want to pet it. That's a lot of lady dolls. Alright, well, we know what he looks like. Oh, I can't pet it. It's so precious. Wait, got it! Royal bathwater, sell it on eBay! With our powers combined, chat, we can pet anything. I think it was like a 30-second delay, but we did it. We petted him. It's all good. The doll's just about? She can sit on... Never mind. Oh yeah, I think I added some new emotes. I was like, oh, let's change out the Halloween. Halloween's come and gone. So I was like, get rid of them Halloween emotes. Okay, well there was that hole over here. Is this something? Nope, not yet? Okay. Where am I going? Where am I going? Okay. Yep. Wait, what? The guide said that the dog follows me. Alright. I guess we'll just re-explore the rooms. Ta-da! I got us a pew-pew, I got us a puke-puke, and I got us a chillin' dog. Madam?
How can I be of service, sir?
The dollhouse.
Tell me, Deirdre, you were in charge of wrapping the dollhouse that Her Majesty presented to Lady Leomunda. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Enjoy.
And you swore to Her Majesty that certain dolls were missing. Do you remember which they were?
Not exactly, sir. But I must say that when I recounted the dolls and noticed some were missing, I found that there were much less with ginger hair than before.
Interesting.
Thank you, Deirdre. Goodbye.
So less boys. Less ginger hair.
Closed.
Maybe the guards know?
We're on duty, sir. We don't have the right to speak.
Thank you for the new pants, Chauncey. Holmes, my glasses, if you would. Are you finished with them, and were they of any use?
Here they are, sir. Indeed, I needed them to prepare a rather horrid mixture which is adored by the most temperamental lodger in the palace.
If the Prime Minister will permit, I would like to thank Mr. Holmes for saving us from Lord Robilar's wrath. If Mr. Holmes would happen to remember the ingredients for the mixture...
Truly, Holmes, I owe you my thanks. I had more than enough of listening to the howls of that However, I knew him as a pup. He was very gentle, nothing like the tyrant that he has become.
I know it's not him, but does the Prime Minister sound like Patrick Stewart just a little bit? Like, obviously a younger one, but like, just like, the cadence has it a little bit. I was listening and I was like, this voice sounds familiar. And I was like, well, we've been playing the Sherlock games. I'm sure we've heard it before. But I was like, no, I'm getting a young Patrick Stewart vibe.
What provoked this change of temperament?
I haven't the least idea. Chauncey?
It seems to me that the fluctuations in my lord's mood began 3 years ago, after a visit of my lady's nephew, the young Lord Gwenders of Crudel.
Ah, yes, that angelic little redhead.
Does the dog hate redheads?
What happened at the time?
My lady was so happy to see her nephew that she ignored my lord during the week that Lord Gwenders was here. My lord roamed alone from room to room, he who was so used to having my lady's complete attention. And the day came when...
I remember. The yappy little thing was completely out of hand, or rather out of paw, trying to separate Lady Leomunda from her dear nephew, without success.
Not the redhead!
Excuse me, sir. I have a question for Mr. Chauncey. Tell me, my friend, did you notice Lord Robillard engaging in any strange behavior in the past 3 days?
Other than the Prime Minister's pants, nothing more than usual, sir. But I don't notice everything.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, gentlemen.
What are you reading that has you just so... he's just so mad. I don't see any dolls hiding in here. Oh, Jesus! Hi, baby! Oh my god, can you come here? Look at him! Look at the little... Go! 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 No, I believe in your running animation. It's precious. We're gonna save, though. They're cute, but... might break my game cute. It's a pug! I can't agree with that statement anymore because I dated one, and there very much was a soul in that cake. Anyway, moving on! Look at the cute puppy!
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm aware that you're on duty, but I am on a special assignment in the service of Lady Leomunda. She entrusted me with a specific investigation, and I must question you both. Please note, in the case of a successful outcome, she has promised her gratitude to all those who have helped. She specifically mentioned that her gratitude would extend to...
At your service, sir. At your service, sir.
Are we alluding to physical gratitude here? It seems to be the like, Big Papa, Big Dog. You know what's really funny, Diggins? One of my film people that I worked with this weekend was talking about a film that he made, and like one of the like lines that he came up with for the short film, he's like in the moment it's cringy, but like outside the moment it's just funny to hear. And he was like, Nina, I'm gonna tell you the line and I want your honest opinion. If you were to hear this, you know, in bed, what would your reaction be? And I was like, what's the line? Like, what did you write? The dude had to go like, you ever been with a big dog before? And I died. And I was like, I would die laughing if I ever heard that. I'd be like, I can't take you serious, but now you've set the bar. Either I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna laugh even harder when you reveal it, or be like, oh, okay. So funny. Big dog.
Thank you, gentlemen. I do believe that Lady Leomunda's companion, the pint-sized Lord Robillard, has access to all of the rooms and halls of the palace. Now, would you have seen him acting erratically these last few days? Say, in the past 3 days?
Yesterday, my lord piddled in my boots.
No, I was referring to events clearly out of the ordinary.
The day before yesterday, while we were on duty, my lord was rummaging about behind this suit of armour. When I bent over to see what he'd found, my bearskin fell, and my lord attacked it, and near tore it to pieces.
Nina like big dogs? 10-inch cake, huh? You know, actually, hold on. Talking about a cake? Not a 10-inch, but, you know. How do I word this without being weird? 'Twas yummy. I don't know. Like, what's the safest way to word this? And I'm like,
Thank you, gentlemen.
Cake was good. It was yummy. 10 out of 10. Top 5. Top 5 cake. Top 3? But that was the redhead cake. Top 3. Alright, suit of armor.
This may prove to be useful.
Ooh. Suit of armor? Oh, is this what the hole's for? God damn it.
This hole is dark and seems quite deep. I must find a way to see what's inside.
We just had to be talking about cake at this moment. He ate every last drop. Were you there? Mama didn't raise a quitter. God damn it. Oh, I'm trying to explore this dark hole.
This hole is dark and seems quite deep. I must find a way to see what's inside.
I need a light of some kind or something. Okay, I have a pike. I have tweezers. We need something to light the dark hole. This conversation's taking a turn. 8 out of 8? Eat it up, eat it up. I forget sometimes that I'm a lady. But it's just like, it's a snack. Okay, you got a broken sword. Do I give you the pike? No. 7 out of 7. Final answer. Oh, are you asking about cake measurements? I think, like, yeah, he was like a 7. But there was a 10-inch cake, I believe. I don't remember. I just remember the weekend. And what am I supposed to do? Can I go in this room?
Closed.
Guide! Take the pike. Uh-huh. It's dark in the hole. Uh-huh. Oh. You have a candle?
No, one will suffice.
Oh my god, I'm taking a tiny candle. Let's go. Ladies can be gutter-minded. Nina had so much cake, she forgot some of the cake sizes. No, I just forgot. The booby. That cake size. Cause like, I don't want to do the cake a disservice. And I'm like, and I'm also like, I don't want to reveal too much about myself. Cause I'm like, I'm small. I'm a small individual. And sometimes there can be too much cake.
I need something. This hole is dark and seems quite deep. I must find a way to see what's inside.
There's a candle.
I need something.
What do you need? The pickle tongs?
I need something.
Okay. The pike? Oh! I'm piking it up!
I think I can make out the reflection of a porcelain face. This spear could be useful, but in order to recover the doll without damage, I would have to bend the end to form a hook.
Excuse? Every sword needs a sheath. Where there's a will, it could fit. I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that. Because it did. You know, it did. Because Mama didn't raise a quitter. And I did not fly halfway across the country to back down. College days. Was it spring break? Summer break. I think it was spring break. Whenever gay marriage got legalized for all of United States, that's when I was in New York. Amazing. Alright, how do I bend this? Kitchen? I don't know why I can't use my pickle tongs. Really nothing in here to bend. Oh, you've ruined a lot this stream. You started it! You talked about cake. And for whatever reason, I'm also like, this is an old-ass Sherlock game. Who's gonna watch it? Who's gonna watch it? But it's like, no names are revealed. And if the people that I'm talking about ever do decide to watch this, they might be like, oh, and I'll be like, eh. Just so my mind knows, we talk about food cake or... Tony? None of those. Different cake. What's this? Who's texting me? Different cake. Not that cake. Front cake. If that makes sense.
I think I can make out the reflection of a pond.
I can't use the pickle tongs?
I need something.
Okay, so it has to be the pike. But how do I bend the pike? Oops, wrong stream. Yeah, I'm like, it's Sherlock time. For whatever reason, Sherlock brings out the gutter goblin. Don't know why. Maybe because the brain is distracted with puzzles. It's just like, whoa. Like, sneaks out a back door like, oh, I'm free! The logic side's distracted! Whoa! Where do I bend this? Guide, where do I bend this? Take the candle, go back to the hole. Use the candle on the hole. The hole is deep. I love that that's in the guide. Use the pike on the whole candle. See a doll. Now we need a hook. With the pike showing, go to the white room and talk to Chauncey. Chauncey! Bend my pike. That sounds weird. Bend it! It's that kind of stream, man.
Excuse me, would there be a clamp hereabouts?
Hold on. It just so happens that my cousin, one of the royal plumbers, came here yesterday to take care of Lady Leamunda's pipes, and he forgot one.
Lady Leamunda's pipes?
I meant to say the plumbing of the bathtub in Lady Leamunda's room, sir.
Also, we can blame them. They're getting spicy, too. Bend it like Beckham. I'd rather it not bend. Free the gutter cake! Gutter might.
What's wrong with the bathtub?
It no longer drains, sir. Normally the water drains in no time once the stopper is removed. In fact, with the force of the water, there are occasionally a few pink bubbles or even some hair that rise into the kitchen sink.
Do you know when your cousin will return?
He said it will take 2 days in order to insert a custom-built auger to unclog the pipe, sir. My lady's maid told him that she saw my lord coming out of the empty bathtub. He would only have left 1 or 2 long hairs, if any.
Unless it was something else.
A doll.
Thank you, Chauncey.
My pleasure, sir.
So am I supposed to unclog the toilet? Ah! Baby! Come. Come. Look at him run! Oh, I got you. Oh, he's so precious! Alright, do I use tongs?
Water.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Water.
Okay. Well, he gave me the clip. Alright, I bent it. No, Sherlock, it has pubes. I think pubes are okay to say.
Here's what I've been looking for. Best to keep my discovery a secret for the moment. If the dog got his paws back on this doll, who knows what it would do.
Look it up, bro. Okay, we got one. If I could, I would approve it, Adobo. Can I just put him back? No? Alright. Bathtub pipes, Get the clip. Twisted Pike. Get the doll. Alright. Let's go talk to Deirdre again. Bye, puppy! I love him so much.
Sir?
My apologies for interrupting you in the midst of your duties. Would you have witnessed Lord Robillard engaging in any strange behavior within the past 3 days?
Oh, my lord is a bit waggish and makes strange around people he isn't familiar with.
You must know him well. Has he added a new trick to his repertoire?
Why, yes. Now that I think of it, my lord usually has a right fear of chimneys because of the fire. However, yesterday morning, I found him with his paws and his snout full of ashes. The fire in the white drawing room was almost out. I cleaned him as quickly as possible, despite his protestations.
Protestations. Oh, you can't say on Twitch? Well, I mean, I did the super, like, ultimate, because it's a sex-based term. Because I was like, none of that in my stream!
Thank you, Deirdre. Goodbye.
And then here we are talking about cake. It's fine. It's Sherlock. Brings out the gutters, goblins, and all of us. Alright. Do I need to grab this? No. Tongs? No. This? No. Do you have one?
A pile of ashes to the side. I can see what seems to be a miniature hand coming out. It will take hours for the fire to extinguish, and pouring water over it will fill the whole palace with smoke. I must find a tool to get the doll out of there.
The pickle tongs? Got him. Okay. We need 2 more. Cake can be used in several ways, so it's allowed, right? We're just talking about delicious cake and how big the cake is. It's good cake. Ooh. I should be getting the clip of the short film that we did over this weekend for the 48. I might share that in the Discord. Just to be like, alright, talk to you again. Anything else?
Sir?
Could you please clean this doll?
Certainly, sir.
Thank you.
At your service, sir.
Any 3 cakes? What? Hold on. Maybe. Where'd she go? She give it back? Okay, she gave it back.
Closed.
What about you, Jabba? How many cakes you have? I can't be the only cake eater here, chat! Oof. It's okay. It's always good to try different cakes.
Closed.
Where did Deirdre go? Oh, you're still here. Chauncey, do you have anything new for me? You got anything new?
So, Holmes, any progress?
Shut your mouth. On that note, time for lunch. Ooh, lunch. I want to eat cake. I have not eaten cake in a while. Right? It's been so long. Oh, there's a bucket I'm supposed to take. Is this how I clean her tub?
No, I can't do that. There is something here.
I can't use my tongs again? My pickle tongs. Okay, well now I have a bucket of water. But we don't want the place full of smoke. Do you want the water?
Yes, I am listening. I'm all yours.
Stop. No.
My lady, I must press you further. Have you noticed any strange behavior from Lord Robillard these last few days?
Why do you ask such a question? Oh, I see. You think that my little lord picked up the scent of the robber and wanted to warn me. I was so blind. Oh, my sweet lovey-dovey.
Indeed, that is one possibility.
Well, I seem to remember Lord rummaging in the garment chest that you see over there in the corner. He isn't supposed to go near it, as it contains ceremonial garments that I never wear, and it is very dusty. In addition, only my personal maid is capable of opening it, and that's in order to air it out from time to time, but I dismissed her.
Why is it complicated to open?
I decorated it myself, but it dates from Henry VIII, you know. He of the cupbearers, the maniac for security, blah, blah, blah. If you try to open it, don't ruin it, please.
I promise, my lady.
Okay. That's why Nina eats so much bread, has to make up for all the cake on the weekend. Nina hasn't had cake in a while. Years!
Thank you. I must leave you, my lady.
But
My
I love
door and
bread.
everything else will be open to you.
Madam, stop it! I do love bread. Alright, do I just dump the water out?
There, all of Lady Leomunda's bathwater is still in this barrel.
We can sell it. Make a fortune!
It is far too heavy. I cannot lift it.
Must ask the gentleman. Nina building up for the ultimate caking. Not until I find out my results. Which I'm gonna see if I can get done early! Because I don't like having it in the back of my mind. And it's just like, you're dying. Slowly but surely. Your coach is killing you.
Listen, can you help me shift a barrel?
At your service, sir.
Lift with your knees. I mean, I guess
Elementary.
does it pop out? Because apparently the kitchen and this pipes are connected. Oh god, who was it? Oh, the photographer who did my photo set. We were like talking about it, and I was like, hey, the photo set's almost done. He's like, oh, that's awesome. How's everyone's reaction? I'm like, oh, they're enjoying it. And he's like, oh, great. And he's like, ever thought of doing, like, you know, what the site's mainly known for? And I was like, nah. And he's like, but what if you did it but didn't show anything? And I was like, explain. He's like, you would see it, but you don't see it. And I was like, I could never show my face again. No one could know! He's like, but just think about it. And I was like, okay. I guess that's an option way down the road. When I'm like, safely secure with my safety net of money. Or I can be like, I am the board. Bop-bop-bop. Okay, so we have the third one. 1, 2, 3. But who am I still missing? I feel like the broken sword one has something to do with it. You're sus, bro. Like the doll. Oh, that's right, the garment chest. Duh, Nina. She literally just told you about it.
One must insert a star here to unlock the opening mechanism.
Where is the star mechanism? Well, she said her maid, but I thought she fired her maid. Unless it's Deirdre. It's Deirdre?
Close.
From the painting?
piece is actually a puzzle, and all the pieces detach easily.
Why?
One must insert a star here to unlock the opening mechanism. One must insert a star here to unlock the opening mechanism.
Oh my god, why? Oh, okay. Or I don't move him? Now, do I make this star, or do I make the star around it? I think I make the actual star itself. Nope, get out of here. Nope, get out of here. God, these pieces are way off. Nope. I feel like if it's fairly obvious, I could just leave it there until I come back over. I was about to say, I was like, oh.
Elementary.
Alright, there's the 4. Do I just give it to you or put it back in the house?
Why, these are my dolls.
Indeed, my lady, here they are. 2 are somewhat damp, but they are all completely intact. In the future, for their own safety, put them up high or lock them up. You should also consider rehiring your servants, as they weren't to blame for the dolls.
Thank you, sir. You are a savior. How can I ever repay you?
There is a way. You can use your influence with Her Majesty to ensure an audience for myself as soon as possible. Here's my card.
Certainly, sir. I will go straight away to beg her pardon, and I propose that you return this evening. That will give me enough time to improve her mood and deign to receive you.
Many thanks, my lady.
You need to chill, madam. I want to talk.
Surely you aren't telling me that you had to rummage through a waste bin in order to find the leftovers from an infernal...
My lord, my dear Watson, within these walls you must say my lord.
I wonder if you aren't mocking me, Holmes. I find it hard to believe that Her Majesty enjoys living in an environment so queer.
What do you know of our monarch, Watson? What do we really know?
Mr. Holmes, the Prime Minister is in the White Room on your right, at the end of the hall. His orders were that you should be shown in immediately.
That... You've already told me this. Let us sniff. Oh, God. Did you really want to see me again?
Good evening, gentlemen. Well done yet again, Holmes. The reconciliation between Her Majesty and Lady Leamunda has had a wonderful effect, and we should be received momentarily.
I just need to know, is it him or is it somebody else?
Is Her Majesty safe?
She is in her chamber, and the palace as well as the gardens are crawling with guards. Did you notice all of the checkpoints on the way here? An army couldn't get to her.
Yeah, you say that.
You'll have to excuse me for a moment.
Nemesis. Prime Minister voice actor. I just gotta know, who is it? I know somebody that was in it, but were they the Prime Minister? Oh no, he was the voice of Sherlock Holmes. Well, it's Rick Simmons, if anyone cares. Alright, so we can go?
It would be considered an act of treason to enter without having been invited, undoubtedly subject to banishment to the Australian colonies, or worse.
thought we were good to go. Maybe I gotta talk to her first.
Closed.
She's not even here.
Closed.
Uh-huh.
The rug was wet in a number of spots. I don't recall having wet it while emptying the bath. The rug was wet in a number of spots. I don't recall having wet it while emptying the bath. The rug was wet in a number of spots. I don't recall having wet it while emptying the bath.
What? Oh! I didn't see her.
Her Majesty and yourself are finally reconciled?
Ah, yes. And all thanks to you. I explained to her that you desired an audience and she has granted your request. She will receive you and the Prime Minister, but she will not tarry by calling for Chauncey to fetch you.
What does that... God, what does that mean? You don't lead me?
Can you assist me, my good man?
Does his lordship wish to inspect another refuse bin?
Okay, calm down.
Why is the carpet in the hall wet?
On account of a gift that Her Majesty received from Lady Leamunda, it was soaked and water was dripping from it for the duration of its carriage.
What did it consist of?
I haven't the least idea. The object was wrapped.
Wrapped but soaked?
Thank you, Chauncey.
Has something come up, Holmes?
No? Are we good? We're good to go, yeah?
It would be considered an act of treason to enter without having been invited, undoubtedly subject to banishment to the Australian colonies, or worse.
We're on duty, sir. We don't have the right to speak.
What am I missing? Do you have anything more? She does.
Forgive me, my lady, but I just learned that you offered a gift to Her Majesty.
Yes, I wanted to present Her Majesty with a gift to thank her for the dollhouse. But what a tragedy. It mustn't work any longer. Those nitwit workers dropped it in the moat and had the dickens of a time getting it out. They were so endearing that I couldn't be angry. And it's true that it's quite heavy.
Question. Is she based on a real person? Because I don't know much about British royal family dynamics and everything, but like, is she essentially just like a playmate for the queen? Like a buddy, essentially? It's like, you're my friend. Entertain me. I need you to be silly and hot.
If you would tell me, my lady, what is the nature of the gift that you presented to Her Majesty?
Well, it's a very rare piece, but I have to admit I don't know much about it. I enjoy frequenting the shops, and a very lovely antiquarian approached me and drew my attention to this masterpiece, as he called it. Oh, he knew what he was talking about, and his manners were so...
But the masterpiece, what was it exactly, my lady?
Well, as Her Majesty's watch was broken, I wanted to give her something to tell the time. Thus, I bought her this clock which she gladly took to her chamber. You know, a French grandfather clock. Pomtoise, or was it comptoise? The antique dealer said it was made by one of the originators of the genre, the Paillet brothers.
Wait, my lady, that name suggests something to me. Could it be...
Is he in... Is Lupin in the clock? If so, I feel so bad for him. He probably was freaking out like, I'm gonna drown, I'm gonna die. You have no idea. The king has someone who cleans his shoes and irons his laces every day. Is there any chance that the person who has to iron his laces is like, me lord, may I present Crocs? In speed mode, may I present slippers? Slip-on shoe. Don't have to worry about the laces coming undone. You just slip it on. Ooh, and it's the fancy slip-on shoes where you don't have to bend down and do it. You just step into it and... is it Lupin? Lupin is in the clock?
No, that doesn't mean anything to me, Mr. Holmes.
Lupin?
No, that doesn't mean anything to me, Mr. Holmes.
Apparently it's Mayet. And the clue is this. So at 2:15, the clock's gonna go off?
Mayet?
Yes, that's it. How did you know?
Watson, Prime Minister, quick, sound the alarm. Lupin is in the Queen's chamber.
What made me accept this infernal contraption? Tomorrow I will have it carved into kindling for the fire.
If Her Majesty will permit, I would rather avoid risking death yet again in what Her Majesty calls this infernal contraption. I was able to hold my breath long enough to avoid drowning, but that wouldn't help me against...
The hangman?
Your Majesty understands well. My fate is entirely in your hands, like so many others. My intentions are not hostile. In fact, they are quite the contrary.
They are what, then?
Many times I have found myself in a similar situation, and the words came naturally, because they flow from my spirit, which has fain been called poetic, lyric, and imaginative. Words. Nothing but words and rhetoric, often to an end above reproach. I stand before you, after having risked my life and still risking it in what I had until now only considered a game. The words won't come to me because the game is over. The words that I should say to you won't come because they are buried deep. These fragile words that are frightened of emerging, these words that come from the heart. The words that I know I owe you, Your Majesty. My queen. My love.
Believe me, madame, if I was to steal something, it would only be a kiss.
Assault?
You won't be stealing anything. I will give you a kiss willingly.
What? You do you, Queen?
Open up, Your Majesty.
Oh my god. Oh my...
Is all well, Your Grace?
Break down the door.
Your subjects are there, and so ends my gallant game, and with them, my life. But these precious seconds are the lifetime. Show them, Arsène, how a French gentleman in love behaves.
And continue to amuse yourself.
Let's go, Queen!
Your Majesty, are you going to...
Hush up, you impudent plodders. Who do you think you are to speak in my presence without having been asked? Look at you, a bunch of incompetents, covered in titles and stripes. You are supposed to guarantee my safety and that of England, which amounts to the same thing. In the end, I had to defend the place myself.
But, Your Majesty...
Suffice. Even the most compassionate of monarchs cannot be permitted to excuse the vermin. Chauncey, have the royal luggage prepared. We will withdraw to Windsor presently. Leomunda, you will accompany me. And you, silence this bell before I have an overwhelming urge to decapitate it.
You and I, Lupin.
Decapitate the bell? Oh, is it back to me? She straight up said, nah, go ahead. I'll kiss you, weird little Frenchman that almost died and emerged from my clock. Why not?
Elementary. This is how Lupin vanished.
I was trying to see if I could find out on IMDb if it would tell me who the voice of the Prime Minister was. It does not.
Here I am in the cellar of Buckingham Palace. All of these odds and ends must represent what remains of the sumptuous gifts given to the crown throughout centuries.
Hold on. What was her name? Leo Wunda? This is what, Queen Victoria? Because I'm like, if this is a real person, like, What?
The ground here is slightly sloped.
Princess Victoria of Saxon-Coburg-Saalfeld. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for, but that's a gorgeous photo.
Nothing special here. This organ is dilapidated, but the steel tubes are made of a resistant metal. None were damaged in the fall, and they haven't oxidized over time.
Huh. I feel like this is, yep, this is not where it's supposed to be.
The wood of this statue is intact. It must be quite heavy, but it's possible to lift it slightly. Lupin must have hooked the lock, but it closed behind him. This grill isn't in good condition. Will it yield through force? The wood of this statue is intact.
I wish to lift it. I need a... It's sloped, so maybe I can just shove it and it'll go.
This organ is dilapidated, but the steel... The ground here is slightly sloped.
Yes, I'm trying to place this down. Perfect. Away you go, elephant.
You and I, Lupin. It's done now, but Lupin knows that someone is after him now.
Gotta make sure the guide was open.
Lupin, he's there.
Bruh, how strong are you? More things that don't belong here.
This grill is closed, and there's no hope to force it open, as it... These shanks are from the lock. Lupin must have thrown them down after closing this door again. Nothing special here. The opening mechanism of this grill seems to be quite sophisticated.
Oh god. Numbers plus something. Minus L equals... Oh god, it's a Roman numeral thing. Wow, the voice cards for the game on IMDb really are sparse. Yeah, it's just Watson and Sherlock. So, I'm sure there's something out there that has it all. Alright, we did the tubes. Second grill. Okay, so... If I look at the second door, does it show me what it looks like?
This grill is closed, and there's no hope to force it open, as it's in such good condition.
Yep, okay. Well, who knows their Roman numerals? Oh!
The opening mechanism of this grill seems to be quite sophisticated.
I think the song is copyrighted, so... Alright. The aim of the puzzle is to arrange the rods on the lock to form Roman numerals that result in an answer that is the same for the top and the bottom. Mathematical processes. Highlight the selected rod, arrange the rods by click, hold, drop. Rods in place. Right-click to turn the rods. The rods are already arranged at the bottom by sets based on how many rods per number to place on the top puzzle. Oh. On the top puzzle? Okay. The solution to get is 81. How do I get double X? Double X 11 plus 8 plus L I equals C. So that doesn't go there. Get that C minus... Is it possible? It's possible. Okay, XX 1 plus B. What I wanted. B 1 plus L 1 equals C minus XX. Okay. Roman numerals. Alright, XX plus IV.
Open.
I'm a big cheater because I don't know math.
All of these objects are ancient. They must be from the Norman era.
Mm-hmm.
The bow of this Norman longship is very heavy and seems quite sturdy. This may prove to be useful. This may prove to be useful.
Oh, I'm gonna use the gate to open it, aren't I?
Closed. Closed. I must have made a mistake. Time to think. This part is in poor condition. I must have made a mistake. Time to think. I must have made a mistake. Time to think.
What am I attaching it to?
No, I can't do that.
Something with this being dragged, and because it's broken, it's gonna smash through it. Alright, bought some clamps. Time for some cake talk. Thanks, Lance, for the GG. Right, head bop. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Piece of chain, piece of chain. Mm-hmm. Combine, get big chain. Uh-huh. Oh, there's a hook on the ceiling. Weird how I didn't see that before.
I must have made a mistake. Time to think. Elementary.
Well, Double, what kind of cake you want to talk about?
I came down a level. I must find a way to get back up. This collection of costumes is magnificent. All are in excellent condition. Nothing special here.
Oh, I just got told welcome to the chat room.
This bagpipe is capable of releasing air under great pressure. That can surely be of use to me. It's part of an Indian totem.
Is this a stuffed horse?
It's part of an Indian totem. It's part of an Indian totem.
I like Black Forest cake. Oh, sound really good. I would say red velvet cake, but red velvet cake is just chocolate cake with food dye. What am I applying this bag to?
This may prove to be useful.
Bagpipe with darts? What am I stabbing with this? Bagpipe with darts? Marble cake, ice cream cake. Ice cream cake really depends, because if it's melting, it's just like meh. But like if it's good ice cream cake and you're actually in a good weather to eat it, it can be pretty alright. pick up the pieces? Pick up the pieces. Find there's a trapdoor somewhere around here. Ah.
There is something here. It's part of an Indian totem. It's part of an Indian totem. It's part of an Indian totem. I must put these pieces on the ground in order to better piece this totem together. No, I can't do that.
I also found out my mouse wheel.
No, I can't do that.
Oh, really? I can scroll through my inventory.
I must put these pieces on the...
I just tried and you said nah.
No, I can't do that.
Well then, I have clearly made a mistake!
No, I can't do that.
Unless there's another one. No, I only counted 3. Aha!
It's part of an Indian totem. Elementary.
Okay, now what does this have to do with the blow darts? Who's messaging me? What is this? I like these two. They both have space for laurels when they come in. Wow, we are so confident. We're like, we're gonna get laurels. We'd fill that black space with them. And this one would be filled all the way around with him. Yes. Sorry, film buddies. As for other cakes, I'd rather not. But they're so yummy. They are the yum yum. Alright. Got the totem. Did that. And then you just climb up to the trapdoor? I would love to. Guessing I use the bag up here. Oh, Blondie. You and your little whiskers, you scared me. I can't hear you.
Elementary. Open.
Oh, sweet. Is there anything else here? It's been a minute since I've played pool. When was the last time I played pool? 2018, I want to say. Oh god. It's been so long.
This may prove to be useful.
My skills are probably rusty.
I need something. I need something. This may prove to be useful. I need something.
Nope.
Nothing special here. This may prove to be useful.
Freaking butt!
This grill is closed, and there's no hope to force it open as it's in such good condition. I need something.
What am I doing? What? 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 Uh-huh. Alright. Look up and see another trapdoor in the ceiling under the big broken mirror and the dresser. Take the coffin, chest. Take the glass wooden crate by the entryway. Uh-huh. Support the bottom of the mirror. Place the wooden crate. Climb the mirror and see that it is a grate. Turn around and see that it has a hook to lock it. Turn around again and prop the mirror on the grate. Hold on. I missed it, apparently. How do I see that it's... Oh, there it is.
I came down a level. I must find a way to get back up. With this system, I can see how the rope is attached.
Yep, that's a row.
I need something.
Oh my gosh, is this where the blow darts come in?
Open.
Why does that work? Oh. Ooh, weapons. Ooh, weapons. Wait, what was the fifth thing? What if it was my attention?
A new message. What now?
Mr. Holmes, I must hastily scribble these few words as I hear you behind me, and the seconds are precious. Our game is nearing the end, and while I thought that I would have to throw in the towel, I was dissuaded and am eluding you again. There is one more feat to accomplish, which to me is but child's play. This event will have a cataclysmic effect, and only you can prevent it. I must give you a hint according to the rules of our games. I entered through the stone walls by first entering through the wooden walls. Tonight I will enter a building which is like both of these places at the same time, and time will stop. Big Ben. He said Big Ben. Note to self, Sherlock Holmes could also have a promising career as a cipher. I mean...
Her Majesty is nevertheless safe. It wasn't without difficulty, but I managed to get her to accept a triple retinue. It's strange, but something has changed in her since this incident. After her understandable anger, she seemed incredibly serene, even playful. I've never seen her like that. When I left her, she was dreamy. Regardless, nothing happened to her, and that's all that matters to us. I have placed an additional 12 of our best agents amongst the staff at her country residence. My goodness! Intruding into Buckingham Palace like that! That Frenchman isn't lacking in daring, and all for nothing, it would appear.
How is that? Lupin went through all that trouble without succeeding? Perhaps this will put an end to all this folly.
If we are to believe the calling card that Lupin left for me in the basement at Buckingham, it would appear he accomplished his aim, although he didn't specify what that was. Furthermore, he seems determined to bring this whole enterprise to completion and commit his last theft tonight. If he succeeds, we will have lost a fifth battle, and with it, the war. National humiliation is in the offing, our Waterloo.
Holmes, how can you be so defeatist? You haven't clearly explained how Lupin managed to escape from the Queen's bedchamber and the palace, but he seems to have had a fair bit of luck yet again. It can't last forever. In addition, we are English and must claim what is rightfully ours.
Well put, Dr. Watson. As courageous as he is, I assure you he took nothing from his quick pass through the Queen's bedchamber. Either way, there was nothing to take. The bedchamber, like Her Majesty's lavatory, are models of austerity. As for the crown jewels and other adornments, they can be found in a steel cage at the other end of London. Lupin is nothing but a braggart, a trite cat burglar who got incredibly lucky and will soon find himself shackled at the ankles and wrists in one of the dankest cells at Dartmoor. Tell me, Dr. Watson, what do these phrases mean, and where must we go in order to put an end to this masquerade?
I'm sorry. What does dank actually mean? Because just hearing proper British be like, the dankest cell you've ever seen. Like, I know what he means, but I'm also thinking, like, it's dank, bro. Like, I imagine it, like, really extravagant, but I know it's not. What is the definition of dank? Dank. Disagreeably damp, musty, and typically cold. Ah, there we go. We found it at the same time, Tony. Look at that. Look at that. Hive mind. But dank slang is excellent. When not describing something as moist and humid, like a basement, dank is a slang term describing something as excellent, especially marijuana. Dank can also refer to mean that are played out or extremely weird. Hence, hearing him be like, the dankest cell. She's like, yo, Lit, bro. All right, where are we going? I imagined Big Ben. I thought Big Ben. Buckingham Palace. Abbey.
There it is. I'm certain.
Hurrah, Doctor! Quickly, there isn't a second to lose. The whole of the police force will join us there.
I didn't even
got it.
I have to look it up.
He entered by dint of a clock in a great palace of stone. He is going to a location that is a bit of both. A great clock made out of stone. Big Ben!
My word, Dr. Watson. You are correct. I will immediately summon all of London's police force in order to set a trap around Big Ben. You are both to join me in an hour. Tonight will be a big night, my fellow compatriots. A night for victory over the French, who are...
Holmes, I no longer feel tired all of a sudden. The prospect of Lupin's capture has ignited me. Indeed, I have the wherewithal too. I caught you unawares on the last riddle, didn't I, Holmes? Well, Holmes?
Quite true, Watson, quite true.
I will have Mrs. Hudson prepare us a little refreshment that will tide us through the night. It promises to be long and exciting. Meeting the Prime Minister at Big Ben. I am sure that...
You will have to give my apologies to the Prime Minister, as I won't be joining you this evening.
But Holmes, tonight we are going to catch the most notorious thief in all of Europe. We will win the final victory, the one which will win the war. We will reclaim England's honour and without fail get our hands back on the Fighting Temeraire, the Six Ravens and the Rosetta Stone. You would miss all?
These last few days have been trying, Watson. In any event, what purpose would I serve? You're the one who solved the riddle of the card, correct?
Enough, Holmes. When you aren't in the limelight, you behave like a selfish boor. A vexation, and you act like a spoiled child. In that case, I will go alone to catch Lupin, and I swear I will not record this installment of your adventures. You are pitiful.
I feel so bad because anyone who's not here, they're just like, Nina's making faces. And it's like, I'm reading chat.
We are in place. Inspector, have you checked the plan?
Affirmative, Prime Minister. Half of Scotland Yard is in the building. The other half is spread out over the vicinity with mobile patrols. No one can pass unseen.
Perfect, gentlemen. There's nothing else to do but wait.
This will be our revenge.
The merit belongs to you, dear Doctor. You will have the honor of bringing the news of our triumph to Her Majesty.
Thank you. But we cannot forget Holmes, who...
By the by, where is he?
He preferred to remain at Baker Street. I think he is somewhat vexed that I was able to resolve the affair without him.
We wouldn't be mollycoddling Holmes.
Too bad for him. He'll learn of Lupin's capture through the papers.
Sorry, what was that sound?
Ahem. Well, Lupin is certainly making us wait. It's already been 4 hours that...
Enough, Lestrade, enough. I know how to count.
Listen. Shh.
What?
I hear a noise. Like a motor. A small motor.
Well, you have a good ear, because I don't hear anything with this cursed TikTok.
Shh. Keep quiet. There is a strange noise, I tell you.
It's true. It's behind the door. Quick, Lestrade, it's him.
It's Lupin. What can he be up to?
Watch out! I'm going to open the door. I'll see...
So, Inspector?
What are you doing? Wake up, you lot of bunglers! It was nothing, just the snores of the men on duty.
Bravo, Lestrade! You keep your men in line.
You ought to congratulate Dr. Watson. A bit more and it would have been the longest police hideout of all time.
Calm, gentlemen. Calm. Lupin won't be long now.
Oh! What? You have lost! Arsène Lupin has trumped you. You didn't make the right choice. Oh crap, where did we last save? England's honor is flouted as never before. The press is echoing with the famous French burglar's success. Yes. The entire world is mocking the British police's failure. Inspector Lestrade has been transferred to the position of traffic warden in the Shetland Islands. The British Prime Minister is on permanent holiday. As for Sherlock Holmes, declared himself to be at fault, he has decided that it was his last case, unless he takes revenge. I'm eating pork chops, oink oink. Just Googling it.
Her Majesty is nevertheless safe, regardless.
How is that?
If we are, if he succeeds.
Holmes, how can you be so defeatist?
Where the bed look.
So it's not Big Ben. Damn! No, I'm dumb. I was like, metal, wood, he came out of a clock. He gonna steal. Okay. Because like I'm trying to think like where we haven't been. Ooh, let me save here just in case. Lupin was intimidated by Ben's girth. Oh, I really want to show you guys a short film because there's a line in there about girth, and it's so funny. There's a right way and a wrong way to blow up balloons, people. What I'm looking for here is girth. Such a good line. Gonna fill these bad boys with laurels as they come in. I know I've already shared it on my Instagram, but I'm just like, we look so flippin' cool. We look so cool. Alright, so. If it's not Big Ben. What is it, Ben? It's not the museum. It's not the National Gallery. Justice Court. Grey Stone. Opened by Queen Victoria herself. That's where I live. Oxford Circus. Arcade. Circus again. We were at the palace. Gave birth to a long dynasty. It's not the tower. What? This message probably breaks TOS or something, so it has been redacted to save this account being banned or timed out. What are you talking about? Talking about Ben's girth? They're like, width? Would it be width of the tower? Height? Width? Length? Yeah, width. Okay, what is it? Alright. Prime Minister asked Watson where the last theft site will be. Select the east side of the map of London. East side. Bank of England. St. Paul Cathedral. Tower of London. Originally constructed above the ancient temple of Mithras. Is it Bank of England? Or is it St. Paul's Cathedral? Because Nelson's there. Was about to go very down bad on Maine and thought better of it, so made the other message instead. I mean, if it's bad, it'll just be blocked and only I can see it, and I'll probably read it out, or I'll be like, ooh, that's bad. But I'm like, bird in the gutter, my dude. And click on the, wait, I'm going back to the Tower of London?
Perhaps here, at the Tower of London.
My dear Watson.
I should point out, Doctor, that Lupin has already been there.
That's true. But the message in the card... I've got it! He entered by dint of a clock in a great palace of stone. He is going to a location that is a bit of both. A great clock made out of stone.
Big Ben! My word, Dr. Watson. You are correct. I will immediately summon all of London's police force in order to set a trap around Big Ben. You are both to join me in an hour. Tonight will be a big night, my fellow compatriots. A night for victory over the French, who are...
Ah, Holmes, I no longer feel tired all of a sudden. The prospect of Lupin's capture has ignited me. Indeed, I have the wherewithal too. I caught you unawares on the last riddle, didn't I, Holmes? Well, Holmes?
Quite true, Watson, quite true.
I will have Mrs. Hudson prepare us a little refreshment that will tide us through the night. It promises to be long and exciting. Meeting the Prime Minister at Big Ben. I am sure that...
You will have to give my apologies to the Prime Minister, as I won't be joining you this evening.
But Holmes, tonight we are going to catch the most notorious thief in all of Europe. We will win the final victory.
These last few days have been trying, Watson.
Enough, Holmes. When you aren't in the limelight, you behave like a selfish boor. A vexation, and you act like a spoilt child. In that case, I will go alone to catch Lupin, and I swear I will not record this installment of your adventures. You are pitiful.
My dear Watson was unwittingly very close to the truth. I believe it is indeed the Tower of London where Lupin will go tonight. Let's go see.
So we're right and wrong. Yeah, I was like, when I clicked that, I was like so confused because I was like, that's where I went last time. But now it makes sense. Pretty much you're selecting the spot where Sherlock goes. So. Alright. So why would Lupin come back here? Meanwhile.
Here, we are in place. Inspector, have you checked the plan?
Affirmative, Prime Minister. Half of Scotland Yard is in the building. The other half is spread out over the vicinity with mobile patrols. No one can pass unseen.
Perfect, gentlemen. There's nothing else to do but wait.
This will be our revenge.
The merit belongs to you, dear Doctor. You will have the honor of bringing the news of our triumph to Her Majesty.
Thank you. But we cannot forget Holmes, who...
By the by, where is he?
He preferred to...
We wouldn't be mollycoddling Holmes.
Too bad.
They've shared the
If I'm
film.
mistaken, I'll be the only one to know. However, if I am correct, Lupin has very little lead on me and will remain unaware of my presence here.
Oh!
He's alive and doesn't seem hurt. This man was certainly put to sleep by a strong sedative. There is no longer any doubt. Lupin is here, and there's no question what he has come to steal. What is his plan? I must find Chief Warder Smith and inform him as soon as possible.
Let's see, it's the Tower of London. The jewels? The crown?
The name Schick is inscribed on his uniform, and this sidearm was submerged in water and is unusable.
Oh, it's crazy. That's how we did things back in the day. We're like, oh, well, my gunpowder fell in water. I am now useless. Alright. Do I still have my map? Where would he be? Would he be? What's happening?
Lupin must have installed this rope in order to take the maximum number of objects out of the Tower of London without having to transport them. Think, if I want to catch Lupin and be assured that he hasn't been able to remove the jewels before that time, I must prevent him from using this rope without him noticing. This rope is very high. Without the keychain, I cannot get up to the ramparts, and scaling the wall in this rain will prove too hazardous. I will have to wing something towards the rope. Something that can cut it or burn it, perhaps.
Lupin wants to touch the Queen's jewels. Ooh, I have matches! Oh, I need to get up there. What? Really, Sherlock? You can't... He can't walk over rubble. Oh, God. Itchy. Okay, I'm feeling like a fool. Looks like Lupin is about to meet his match. Ah, voice spout is broken. No! But Sherlock confirmed to Dalek, can't climb stairs! Can't climb those stairs. Oh, what am I doing? Weapons room. Weapons room. Wait. Wasn't it like over here, the weapons room? Hold on. Hold on. No, that took us to the spooky downstairs basement. If you get a hold of a Canadian nickel, the queen is on one side and her beaver is on the other side. Oh! It's true. Alright, apparently I'm lost. Oh my god. If there's no post-credit scene that's simply, that's a lot of girth, then I don't know what we're doing. So we're gonna do a director's cut because we had to cut everyone's opening and everyone closing their screens, so we'll for sure add those things. Okay, nice. God. I'm telling you, I think after stream I might be like Uber secret. Super secrets. Alright. See the fallen warden, he's given a sedative. Go close and take the cartridges. Really? The thing that I was super looking at, but nothing popped up?
Yeah, some cartridges are intact. This sidearm was submerged in water and is unusable.
Really? I have cartridges.
This sidearm was submerged in water and is unusable.
Let me guess, I have to find another gun. To the scaffolding site. Apparently I'm a nincompoop. Scaffold? Scaffolding, I say. Oh, Jesus.
This warder is asleep. The name embroidered on his uniform indicates that he is Kirkpatrick. There is something here. There seems to be a little bit of green paint on the right hand.
Okay. Put it down.
This warder is asleep. The name embroidered on his uniform indicates that he is Kirkpatrick.
Alright, storeroom. Oh my goodness.
It's Chief Warder Smith's hat. This print on the ground suggests that someone had a heavy fall here.
Where did he go, though?
Closed. Someone was dragged to the door of the storeroom. The rain hasn't yet removed the prints, thus they must be quite recent. Someone was dragged to the door of the storeroom. The rain hasn't yet removed the prints, thus they must be quite recent.
Oh my god. He just knocked everybody out. Hey, man. He's awake! Ish.
How are you, Warder?
Hickman.
Are you injured?
No, but I have a headache. I feel sleepy.
Wake up. Where's Chief Warder Smith?
He left with the doctor into the storeroom.
Doctor?
The storeroom is locked. Who possesses a key?
Smith and the cook, but he is out.
Who else? Speak, Warder.
Vatty Johnson. In his locker. A duplicate which he stole. Ugh.
What animal will be on the back of the new money with the king? I want to say a moose. Or a goose.
I must leave. Bide your time until I return.
I want to say a goose.
Two hot air balloons in solidarity. The inertia of such a ship necessitates particularly precise and stable flight conditions.
Flight, 5 shillings every Saturday, Sunday, Hyde Park. Balloons tied together. Why do I have a feeling?
This uniform seems to be made for a child. This man must be of a small stature. This lamp has a funny shape. I am taking it.
Funny shape. I am taking it.
Certainly a gift for a child.
Roller skates.
Roller skates. Dearest cousin Sarah, I promised to write you during my first week posted to the Tower of London. So I'm writing to you as promised. The week that just passed seemed as quick as lightning. I had to learn by heart a whale horde of coded phrases as well as names of the important folk around the tower. I've also seen some incredible rooms in some of the buildings. Tell you that they were all for. I couldn't, so much of them I've seen. The food is swell and the cook deserves a blue ribbon. I'm on night guard duty. Knowledge.
This may prove to be useful.
Might be the key. Not respecting the precise dosage of powder while loading the cannon can lead to catastrophic consequences. Narrowing of the shaft, explosions, etc. I think the animals in boat will remain, just might flip the face, whatever they do. We got beaver, bow, moose, coat of arms, loon, and a polar bear. Goose! I'm calling it! Your goose! Your, like, famous flying bird is next. Narrowing of the shaft doesn't sound fun. Sounds like somebody needs some sounding.
This bed is dusty and must not have been occupied for quite some time.
Okay, I think we're good. Hold up my key. Ah, my texture is gone.
Closed.
Let's not. Let's see. Talk to the warden. Went with the doctor to the storeroom. Smith and the cook have keys. Has a duplicate. Enter the dorm. Take the handbill. Go to the second cubicle. See roller skates. Take the uniform. Take the lampshade. Take the key. Burden thread is dusty. Take the book. Exit the door. Oh, this is for the cloakroom, not the storeroom. My bad. Alright, which one of you is Fetty Johnson? I'm leaving this to ask if you wouldn't want to change lockers with me. You're aware that Summerby and I are not getting along anymore, as we tend to cross paths during the change of the guards. And as he's only 2 lockers over from me, he never stops provoking me, and I'm worried that it may end badly one day. You would also be next to Belle, whom you said last week you wanted to keep a closer eye on. They get advanced warder shit. Guards rotation for the month! Son of a... Ah! Oh god. Okay. So I'm sergeant right now. Sergeant.
This door is solid, the lock is rather ancient, and each locker has a different lock. If I want to open one in particular, the chance of finding a key within a reasonable amount of time is almost null. I will have to use force. Blow up the lock, perhaps? It must be the guard's cloakroom.
Meanwhile... Adobo's taking driving lessons for a big rig. Don't I see a surgery in his future?
Well, Lupin is certainly making us wait. It's already been 4 hours that...
Enough, Lestrade, enough. I know.
Listen.
What?
I hear a noise. Like a motor. A small motor.
Well, you have a good ear.
Shh.
It's true.
It's Lupin.
Watch out!
So, Inspector?
What are you doing? It was nothing. You ought to congratulate Dr. Watson.
Come, gentlemen.
Okay. I don't know. Apparently you driving a big rig towards some type of surgery. What was the sergeant's name? Alright, see that he has he's 2 lockers away from Summerby, and they are not on the same shift. Bell's locker is close to the locker of Shtick. Number 1 is the sergeant's. I know number 1 is the sergeant, but what is the sergeant's name? That's what I'm stuck on. Adobo the Transformer. Right, my rig is perfectly fine. Thank you very much. Alright.
There is a stool here, possibly for helping the owner of this locker to reach the high parts.
Is this the short guy?
It's typical Scottish material. There is a kilt inside this locker. Green paint. This is, without a doubt, a freshly combed moustache hair.
Okay. Alright. Whose hat is this?
It's Chief Warder Smith's hat.
Is Chief Warder Smith the sergeant? No, otherwise they would say sergeant.
This warder is asleep. The name embroidered on his uniform indicates that he is Kirkpatrick. This warder is asleep. The name embroidered on his uniform indicates that he is Kirkpatrick.
Let me go back to the front. What's your name again? Oh. Where's my other guy was passed out? I think he's the green paint guy.
This warder is asleep. The name embroidered on his uniform indicates that he is Kirkpatrick.
Pink. Cab, truck, single trailer, double trailer, double trailer. Wow, we got a big man over here.
Which is Johnson's locker? Where is it in the locker room?
Don't know. I never pass it.
Where is your locker and those of the wardens that you know?
My locker. It's the 4th on the left, next to Bell and the new. Opposite the fellow who is on duty with me. Willoughby is closest to the entrance. At the back is Dirty Flint. Oh, his locker stinks, and nobody wanted to be next to him.
I believe that's it. The sleeping pill has produced its...
Well, good luck remembering all that detail, Nina. Alright. So I think Kirkpatrick is 12. Can I check? Yep. See that there's green paint on the locker door, so this must be Kirkpatrick's. Sweet. Okay, at least I'm right about that. There we go. I was like, Flint apparently stinky. With those trailers, you know the hottest films and TV shows coming soon. Only bigger would be if there's an Aussie truck sim and you could manage one of their Outback road trails. Truck with 4 trailers. Ooh. I'm sure there's probably a DLC or something for that. There has to be. Alright. Who had the nose hair? 6? Where's Ick? See Scottish plaid sticking out of 15. Alright, information gathered from sleeping guard. Johnson's locker is near his locker. His locker is framed by Bell and the new warder. Willoughby's locker is closer to the entrance. Dirty Flint is at the rear of the room, so Dirty is either 8 or 9. Read the letter R taken from the door. R. Moore is the new guy. His locker is then close to the sleeping guard outside the dorm. Moore rotates with Law, the only Scotsman in the group. So 15 is Law's. Oh. Okay. Adobo is there? Ooh, the Australian one sounds troublesome, especially if you run into some naughty boy shouting, "Witness!" Witness Adobo? I mean, hold on. Don't I have a button for that? Hold on. Where are my buttons? Where are my buttons? Though they might not work because I know voice mod is being a little silly. Is this it?
Get up! You can do it!
We did it! We witnessed you, Adobo! And all your big rig adventures. Adobo the Outback Road train driver. Excellent. Why do I have to give checky marks? That's weird. Anyway. And Ludwell's lockers are close together. Jones is the short one, so 16 is Jones. Jones. The Viking locker is across Moore's. Morrison's locker is across Moore's. O'Shea is a sergeant. Okay, okay. So O'Shea is a sergeant. Thank goodness. Is across Moore's. Mortison's locker is across Moore's. Viking locker. Which one's the Viking locker? Place the name. O'Shea is 1. Schick is 6. Kirkpatrick is 12, Law is 15, and Jones 16. Sleeping guard is framed by Moore and Bell. The lockers have to be 3 in a row. Willoughby is close to entrance, then sleeper guard. So place Willoughby as number 2. Again, what is this? Moore is 3. Okay. Hickman, the sleeping guard, is 4. Oh my god, messages! And that means Bell is 5. And then across from Moore is Mortison. Summerby is 2 lockers away from Shtick. So he's at 8. March and Ludwell are together, but before Stinky Flint, who should be 9. He's a stinky boy. March is ahead of Ludwell because he is protective of Ludlow. Oh, it's cute. Johnson's locker is near Kerp, so place him at 7. Alright, so Johnson's here. Styles is 13. So March is protective.
Elementary.
Oh, you place them all, and then it would either be checkmark, you got it, or you got it wrong. Alright, who was I looking for originally? Who had the key? Fatty Patrick?
This door is solid. Each locker has a different lock.
What up, Forbidden?
Open one in particular. The blow up the lock, perhaps?
Welcome in, Raiders. We're just playing some more Sherlock. How was Dark Souls 3?
This door is solid.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out how to blow up something. Blow up the locker of Johnson to open it. How do I blow up the locker? I think I missed a crucial step. What's going on, Forbidden? Oh, I need to go get it. Right to the store. Okay, hold on. I'm still missing key ingredients. It was very dark. Oh, I imagine 'tis the Dark Souls. Did you kick all the butt, or did you die? I imagine you kicked all the butt.
Open.
Seemed to be a right butt kicker.
I'm taking whatever might be useful. The time is pressing, and Lupin isn't far. I'm taking whatever might be useful. The time.
Yes.
I'm taking whatever might be useful.
Got it. You don't have to keep saying it for every item. Holmes.
This may prove to be useful.
Anything else? I grabbed 4 items. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right, back to the locker. Let me out. You kicked most of the butt. Excellent. That's what we like to hear. Butt kickery. Oh, I'm at the wrong door. We've just been, chilling. No gutter goblins here. Been nothing but wholesome this stream. Nothing but wholesome. I've made a very weird bomb. Well, I'm off to cook, eat, read, nap. I hope you have a great stream. Thanks, Forbidden. Go relax. Chill. And of course, thank you for the raid. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. What is this? Oh, Slipknot. Adderall, instrumental. Okay. Alright. Nutcracker and cartridges to get gunpowder. Uh-huh. Combine gunpowder and string to get a bomb. This match is on padlock. Covered by bomb. This?
I will have enough gunpowder to blast open one locker.
Yeah, no, for sure. But just in case I'm wrong. Oh, I somehow scrolled chat. How did that happen? How did I scroll through chat? Curses. There we go.
Open. This haggis is fresh and supple. Perhaps it is meant for the cook in order to prepare a special dish. Not appetizing, but I'm taking it regardless. This must be the key to the storeroom.
Just make sure there's something else in there. Sorry, isn't haggis sheep stomach? How safe is that to eat? Oh shit!
Smith looks to be unconscious. Is there a chance of waking him up? The lock of the grill has been changed, and I can no longer open it.
Can I? What do I have? Just gonna...
Smith looks to be unconscious.
Oh, I was just gonna throw the haggis at him like, wake up! Uh-huh.
Water.
Oh, perfect.
Smith looks to be unconscious. That's it. Hickman fell asleep quite gradually, probably under the effect of a strong narcotic. The prints on the ground in front of the storeroom made me think that Smith was knocked out and not drugged. Thus, only a bit of cold water was necessary to awaken him.
Smith, wake up. Do you hear me, Smith? It's Holmes.
My head. What's going on? What am I doing here? Mr. Holmes? Where is the doctor?
Listen, Smith, pull yourselves together and come here. Can you open this grill?
My keychain has disappeared. No, I can't open it. After you came through the other day, the cook insisted on changing the lock. It now needs a key.
Fine. In that case, I'll need your help. We'll need to find a way to get you out of there. Foremost, you must precisely recount the events of the night. And who is the doctor you speak of?
Well, early in the afternoon, the few men who were still present in the rampart were taken sick, with awful stomachaches. Must have been something in yesterday's meal. I don't digest tomatoes well, so I didn't eat, and I felt fine. Our usual doctor was absent, so I had to call a doctor in the area, Dr. Cernin. He hasn't been around for long, but I've heard good things about him. In examining the first man, he appeared alarmed and insisted on treating them with injections. We checked on all of the guards and he treated them all. The last to be treated was Hickman. The doctor was vexed as he didn't have enough medication to administer a full dose, but he assured me it would be enough. Afterwards, he asked if we had seen all of the men in the garrison, which was affirmative. He asked me to accompany him to the postern, and I had hardly turned when I felt a sharp pain at the base of my head. I don't remember anything else.
I guess just proves the Irish will eat anything. Oh. You found your way to him like a homing missile. Chop! Low-key, I kind of wanted to see the animation of just Austin Lupin like, Hwah! What clue? Calling card reveal. Do I have Dr. Paul Cernin's calling card? I don't think I do, but I'm gonna bet it's him.
I must have made a mistake. Time to think.
Did I spell it wrong? How do you spell Austin Lupin? Arsene Lupin?
I am beginning to see. What medication did he administer?
I really don't know. An empty vial fell into a puddle and I picked it up.
The label is damaged and the water would have washed out any remaining substance. Impossible to tell what it held.
But what are you doing here? Can you explain what's going on?
I assume that the guards who are watching the crown jewels were also attended to.
Yes, and the only key leading to that room is on my chain.
I must help you out of here. Is there another key to this grill?
The cook has one, but he's out. However, I think I had a spare key to the guardroom maid, and it wasn't on my chain. You might just find something there that will get me out of here, or capture the person responsible for all of this.
Ooh, what did I just get? Got a flask and a key up to the weapon room! Weapon room. I can remember where it is. I swear it was like over here somewhere. Jump to Bloody Tower? Do they mean Byron Tower? There's Tower Green, White Tower, and then Byron Tower? I'm gonna try this, because we're looking for the weapons room. Is it the weapons room?
Closed.
Oh, use your key, Nina. I'm back. All right. What are we gonna use here?
This helmet stand is quite singular, sturdy and very light.
This dish is empty, but might work.
This liquid has a strong smell, certainly a petrol derivative to lubricate or clean metal. There isn't much left, just enough to moisten a rag. This collection of weapons is impressive.
This served to store the exact quantity of powder necessary to load the cannon.
You gotta launch a cannon at him?
The interior diameter of this cannon is approximately 2.5 inches.
Let's make sure we got everything. And go to the work table. Use the key taken from the warden on the locked box. Locked box?
Perhaps I'd be able to find something useful in this case, but it is locked.
The only key I used was, the one that let me in here. I don't really see any of these items helping me.
Perhaps I'd be able to find something useful in this case, but it is locked.
Use the key on the door. Enter the door at the end of the left wall. Go to the door of Jewel House and hear Lupin working inside. Oh! I gotta go to that place? Hold on. I missed a step.
Closed.
But it's closed! Use the key on the door. Huh. Ha 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 ha. Go to the door of Jewel House and hear Lupin working inside. Is this it? This is it. Oh! Oh! I've never opened this door.
If I am to believe the tag on his uniform, this warder is called Summerby. Apparently he was also taken care of by the doctor, Dr. Lupin.
That key.
Look, this warder must have lost this key in falling. What could it be for? It's the door of the Queen's Jewel House, and it is quite solid. Was that the sound of a saw from behind the door? Lupin could be finished in his work any moment. I must make haste. This may prove to be useful. This may prove to be useful.
Okay. We got the screwdriver in the file. Uh-huh.
Small, dry pieces of wood.
What am I making here? Am I gonna put it in like a tiny cannon? What am I doing here?
A small navy cannon in perfect condition. It is just missing the wheels.
Oh my god, am I gonna make a tiny cannon? This what that document mentioned what? 2.5? So 478? Alright, well, let's go to the storeroom. What am I doing? Give him the file. There you go.
Take this file, it's all that I could find. Is there any way to enter the Jewel House without a key?
No, not without a cannon at least.
In that case, I'll have to find one.
You are kidding, I'm sure.
I would not trifle with such a serious matter as this.
The munitions are found in the armory at the top of the staircase heading to the White Tower, the central tower. Apart from the one on my keychain, the other key is found in one of the service buildings, and it will be far too complicated to tell you how to locate it.
Pray, release yourself as quickly as possible. Go find the key and open the door of the armory for me. I will join you there. Is that your scarf over there? Can you please pass it to me?
My daughter just finished knitting it.
She should start knitting another, because before entering the Jewel House, I must block Lupin's retreat.
Do I tie this scarf to like a door?
It's the door of the Queen's Jewel House.
How do I block his retreat? Uh-huh. I'm making hot air balloons? What? What? Remember the handbill that shows the 2 balloons tied together? Let's make one. In inventory, combine helmet stand with haggis. Sorry, what?
I found it. I will make 2 hot air balloons.
I must burn the rope that Lupin strung between the jewel house and the exterior. Otherwise, he will escape that way. Quickly, time is pressing.
What? Combine lampshade with wax doily.
Now I must find some fuel for my hot air balloons.
That would be the oil. Or... no, it'd be the small pieces of wood. And then the oil. Small wood. 2 hot air balloons with splint. Use the oil in each. And then we use...
I must release my hot air balloons in precise order.
What am I gonna, like, light it on fire and just have it, like, go burn the rope? Combine them. Okay. Alright, where's his little sneaky contraption? There it is. Do I light? Or do I just set it free?
I will ignite my balloons as soon as I release them. Watch out, they're off.
What? Sure.
The rope must have been somewhat damaged to no longer be able to support a heavy load. Let's see if Smith has been able to get out and find the key to the arsenal.
Oh, heavy loads. Oh, there he is. I'm coming. I'm running. I just love the fact that you can hear Lupin, like, just excessively, with, like, a saw, just cutting wood. I'm just like, what are you cutting? What are you sawing?
I've been working as quickly as I could, but my old arms have been shaking like leaves with the effort.
While I'm taking care of the robber, you'll need to get to the base of Big Ben in order to find one of the officers thereabouts, because I don't think you'll find another in the whole of London.
But what are they doing there?
He'll be saw in the morning. Heavy loads, you say? I mean, that's what the game said. Can't support heavy loads anymore. It's too weak. Meanwhile...
Enough already. Enough, Prime Minister. Where is he then, this Lupin? Does he think I have nothing better to do?
I've just done my round. You wouldn't believe, but there's a mob of journalists down there.
Well, that takes the biscuit.
It's not surprising. Half the force has been kicking their heels in front of Big Ben for the past 8 hours. It couldn't go unnoticed forever.
Journalists? A mob? Yes, but of course.
What now, Doctor?
Inspector, check the identities of the journalists. Lupin has previously disguised as a journalist, and I'm sure it was he who alerted them in order to create a diversion and slip in.
Well played, Doctor. I'm on it. At last, some action.
Lupin has previously disguised himself as a journalist, did you say? When was this then, Doctor?
Ah, well, I
thought it had a bottle opening attachment, but it's just a fancy ring. It's an accessory. Is that soap?
This may prove to be useful. Curious, one of these glasses, which resembles those in a chemist's laboratory, reads 2.8 ounces. The other gradings have been erased.
Why?
This thick cover could support a very heavy load.
Oh, never mind. We can support heavy loads again. So many jokes.
These cannonballs are very heavy. I can only take one at a time. These cannonballs are very heavy. I can only take one at a time.
Which one's a 2.5? Let me see if I can ascertain. 1, 2, 3. I feel like a...
These cannonballs are very heavy. I can only take one at a time.
I feel like a middle. A good route. Alright. Take the lid of the crate. Go to the first table and take the point Billy can and the glass. The what can? Got a glass. Okay, I do have a Billy can. Go to the back wall, look at each stack, take the... It is the second from the right stack. Oh, it's a tiny ball.
These cannonballs have a diameter of 2.5 inches.
There you go. You can just read. Nina has experience with heavy loads. Do I? If we're talking, like, actual, like, weight of heavy things, then yes, I backpacked across Europe. I had to carry all my belongings on my back. It's quite heavy. Realized real quick that I'm glad I bought the bag I did, because it, like, cinched at my hips, so the weight was on my hips and not my shoulders. Whereas some of my companions, their weight was on their shoulders and not their hips. So we all got tired at different levels, but I was like, my shoulders never hurt, and I somehow never got a blister. By a miracle, I never got a blister. But if you're talking about the other kind, the cake kind, I can neither confirm nor deny. Such a dick answer. Oh, damn it. No pun intended.
A small barrel of powder.
We can definitely say Nina is stylish. Even her bags are hip. Load me with cake. Nina, I'm fine. Yep. Ah, it was a bad pun. Bad pun. I know. Just catch a Pokemon. Move past it. Alright, I believe I have everything. We got the glass, we got the Billy can, we got the 2.5 diameter cannonball, got the barrel of powder, and that's it. To the dorms for some reason. There's a poker catch in the poker patch. Alright, what am I here? Jump to the end. Let me in.
Certainly a gift for a child.
Roller skates.
I feel like I need the roller skates. You know, for the wheels. Alright, what's happening? Oh, use the screwdriver on the roller skates.
This may prove to be useful.
Oh my god, those are the tiniest wheels. Alright, back to the weapons room. Hello, cannon? Wish to make you mobile?
This cannon is heavy, but I will be able to put...
Yeah, the wheels? Do you not want the wheels?
This cannon is heavy, but I will be able to push it. I will need to find a way to move it to the front of the door of the Queen's Jewel House.
Okay. Take the bag. Combine the wheels and the screw. Oh, now it's a board on wheels. I definitely missed the pun
now
while
I can
buffering.
push it to the door of the Jewel House.
It's okay. It's a good thing then. Oh my.
The stairs are preventing me from getting past. How can I mount them with my artillery?
Good question. Push the cannon. Use this. What? Oh, that's wild.
There, the door is dismantled. Now I must find the appropriate location where I should place it. There, the door is dismantled.
Right here.
Elementary.
Oh my god. Let's go!
There, now I am in firing position, and there's nothing more to do but load this cannon.
Man, Lupin is just...
I must decant the proper amount of powder into this receptacle and pour it into the cannon.
My chat reloaded. Ooh. That's okay. Mine reloaded too. Alright. So, in our lovely documents, we're gonna try. It says 478.
I must decant the proper amount of powder into this receptacle and pour it into the cannon.
78. Well, I know I need a bunch of this to get 8. Okay. 478? Hmm. $250, $80, $12. Click on the tab. Use the powder bag fill container. Measure total 478. A solution is to place 19 measures of 12 and 1 of 250. I'm just gonna do that then. If anyone has me do math, I'm done. Use my fists.
Elementary.
Go. Where's my cannon?
There, now I am in firing position, and there's nothing more to do but load this cannon. I need something. There, now I am in firing position, and there's nothing more to do but load this cannon. I need something.
Okay.
Elementary.
My cannon's invisible.
Elementary. There, now I am in firing position, and there's nothing more to do but load this cannon. I need something.
Oh, God. Oh, Lupin. Jesus. He's not even bothered that I just blew open the door with a cannon.
If I were you, Lupin, I wouldn't take that path. As you can surmise by the plumes of smoke emanating from the rope originating from this window, it, let's say, suffered by my hand, and there's no chance that it'll support your weight nor the items that I imagine you to be carrying.
You impress me, Mr. Holmes. You see, I concocted this plan with such thoroughness and, I'm sure you'll agree, a fair amount of genius, such that I was saddened that none would see it as I brought it to fruition. And yet, there you were from the first. A bit too close for comfort, wasn't it? And if you are here, it's because you must have searched, and most certainly found all of the parts of the puzzle, down to the smallest detail. And I can't but congratulate you on your performance. I am a gentleman, Mr. Holmes, and even if I didn't always show good sportsmanship during this adventure,
My sense of honor obliges me to acknowledge your victory tonight. As someone who never knew defeat before meeting you, I would like to express my admiration and how honored I am that you not only played this game with me, but won also.
You should, Monsieur Lupin, understand that I share your admiration and know that if you're giving me the honor of the victory tonight, it was yours the last 4 times.
Your intelligence has no equal apart from your sense of chivalry, Mr. Holmes. You know as well as I do, those were but a few minor obstructions, and whoever wins the final battle takes the war.
Despite everything, our camp suffered some losses, the gravity of which could have been fatal if they had been made public. No one, myself included, would have come out of a Pyrrhic victory unscathed.
I betrayed myself by doing anything that could have harmed your reputation.
Oh my god, they really are.
I am duty-bound to you, Mr. Holmes, and I will accept your conditions, even if they dishonor me, as long as they don't dishonor my country.
You managed, thanks to your remarkable intelligence, to deny me any margin of maneuverability to decide in advance should we find ourselves in the situation in which we are. It was a chess match, and there is nothing remaining on the table but the 2 kings. This is a classic stalemate, wouldn't you agree?
You will find at this address a master's painting, a great rock, and a few birds. As for what Her Majesty wished for me, I had no choice but to give it to her at that very instant. Once again, I am at a loss for words to express the pleasure that I took from this adventure with you. Even if it costs me, I promise on my honor that I will never publicize the account of what took place.
We shall not meet again, my friend, but know that during the past few days, your presence in our soil did as much honor to your country as ours. Safe journey, Monsieur Lupin.
What? You'll let him leave like that?
What choice did I have, Watson? Look at the whole picture. Lupin's real intent was to steal the crown jewels. The goal of all the other thefts was to provide a sort of insurance in the case of failure, and, above all, to ensure the services of a plethora of accomplices. Us.
Us? Accomplices? What? I admit that I was fooled once, but I didn't steal anything.
From the moment we read Lupin's first letter, we became his accomplices. In fact, by having us play his game, Lupin was conditioning us. After the first theft, he left clues leading us to the second, from the second to the third. So well that as the second to last theft, we were convinced that Lupin's final target would be Big Ben. Lupin knew that the authorities, headed by the Prime Minister himself, would align themselves with the only person who could sort out Lupin's schemes as they happened. Myself. Therefore, in controlling me, he was controlling all of London's police force, and he nearly succeeded.
Then why not simply steal the jewels to begin with? Why this whole masquerade?
I've just explained it, Watson. In order to steal the crown jewels, Lupin had to accomplish certain preliminaries. In the first place, he had to be assured that the garrison would be only minimally guarded on the night of the theft. Therefore, he started using a disguise, of course, by getting rid of the garrison's usual doctor, by giving him a free trip to the continent. He also befriended the cook under another identity, while the cook was out on the town. Thus, he was able to suggest a specific recipe for a specific date, the eve of the jewel theft. Then he went to nab the ravens. The effects of this theft permitted him to first create an inauspicious event that forced a reduction in the size of the garrison so that the news wouldn't spread. Second, to have access to the storeroom in order to poison the tomatoes that were going to be used in the recipe that he gave to the cook. Third, to pose as Paul Cernine, that doctor who would be called in the case of emergency. Fourth, given that a theft had already taken place at the Tower of London, we would have had to have bats in the belfry to think that there would be another. Lupin also needed to get the police out of the area, which happened as I already explained.
I understand, but what of the other thefts?
A part of the process of conditioning, they caused us to put little weight on the theft in the Tower of London. If that had been the only prelude, we would have taken more time to ponder the clues and find Lupin's true intentions. Yet this time he didn't leave it up to us. And so, like I told you, these thefts were his insurance. Lupin had beaten us 4 times on the battlefield of English honor, such as he had suggested to us in his letter. Our pride in not bringing our defeats public was our sin, and it made us prisoners of his game. If he had proven beaten, he could have profited from the restitution of the objects, the price of his silence regarding our failures, and the true value of our police. A discreet release was a small price to pay with regards to an affront of international scope. Do not forget that the Queen herself is implicated.
Indeed. It is, moreover, a matter of conscience for me. When I write this adventure, I do not think
But there's no question, Watson. You cannot write about it. You promised before God that you wouldn't.
But Holmes...
Your word is your bond. In any case, you wouldn't want to relate the ignoble theft that you committed, that of my Order of the Legion of Honor.
Holmes, you know that.
It's in the past, Watson. It's in the past. Incidentally, a young woman came by to return it a few moments ago. She wanted to deliver it to you directly. She seemed to know you well. A young woman who can be found at the Golden Lion, am I right? She doesn't seem like your usual client, unless, of course, you were the client in this case. What do you say, Watson?
There we go! Oh, this was the remastered version, too. Ooh. 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 Very nice, very nice. Cass is under my desk right now. She's been doing this for the past 2 days. It's a little sus. She never comes under my desk. But I think it's just with crazy sleep schedule that I've had. It's like, instead of sleeping at night when I normally sleep, I slept in the morning. And she's usually awake, you know, in the backyard doing stuff. So we didn't get to sleep together in the same bed for like the past 2 nights. I try to do like little power naps, like an hour or 2 in there. But she's like not having it. Sink. 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 Dank it, dank it, dank it. I wonder if it will tell us who the voice actor for Prime Minister is? That's my question. But that means after this, it's Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. So, woohoo! We got time. I can pop that on. I'm not that tired. I am hungry, though. I'm gonna go open up my drink. That's okay, I got my Mexican Coke. Oh, Cass. Oh, I forgot you were down here. I was like, ah! Also, the cannon vanished, so, what was that? I broke it command? Broken plus, I believe. Exclamation broken plus. But yeah, you got it, bro. Because broken just shows total. You want to add to it. Would we count that as a broken? I mean, there were some other moments. I would say yeah, because we lost the textures towards the end. Like, you know, we started, like, the doors that were black, textures were kind of disappearing. Broken space plus. I believe in you, Larrington. But, yeah, I'll get us set up for the next game. Oh, your problem mod command. It might be. Is it broke? Oh, I know. It might be a mod command. I know there's a plus in there, though. But let's get set up for the next game.